6Three podcast, your home for the most in-depth analysis on all things sports, entertainment, and basically anything else you can storm up, where we have some of the hottest takes. Some of the craziest takes.
The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
Some of the dumbest takes.
I have an IQ of 48.
And where we believe that opinions are like,
But you don't say that.
and now, to your hosts, Joel and RJ.
And Isaiah.
You didn't bring the note? Where's the sign?
Thanks for tuning into the 6'3 podcast. I'm your host with my other co-hosts, RJ and Isaiah.
Sadly, the sign only lasted one episode, guys. One episode.
One episode. I don't know where it went.
That was a genius idea, but you couldn't scribble anything on a Sharpie fast enough this time.
No, I couldn't.
Not even on your wrist. Just be like,
Right.
all right, well, we're back to the top 32 again. We're going to do our little, and me.
And me. There we go. That works.
Yeah.
We're going to do our NFL head coaches draft,
Oh, boy.
where number one is probably sprinting to the podium to announce this one.
All right. Well, number one, NFL head coach. He gets the title until he does something to lose it. It is Bill Belichick.
Hey. RJ, I know you put him at 14. Can you explain to the group why?
I had him at one also. I think Patriots are going to struggle this year without Tom Brady. He's still the greatest coach of all time, so you have to have him at number one.
Don Shula would like a word in his casket.
Yeah. No, Don Shula is not better.
Now he's rolling around in his grave for sure. As of what, a week ago? Did he die a week ago?
Yeah.
It was a couple weeks.
He's applauding that pick because he knows that he's the greatest coach of all time.
All right. But is he ahead of this second coach, RJ?
Ooh.
Not currently. And the next few years, the number two coach finally got his ring. It's Andy Reid.
Yep.
Bet it is.
I love the guy.
I do too, Mr. Fluffy.
He just looks like a big red Christmas ornament in a game.
Number three, sprinting along real quick. The New Orleans Saints are going to take their coach, Sean Payton,
There we go.
who's putting hits out on people with Bounty Gate. But other than that, dude makes the playoffs every freaking year.
So far, I'm like dead even with – are we all on the exact same page so far?
Yes.
Did you have Payton at 3 as well, Isaiah?
I did.
Nice.
All right, so let's throw the curveball here. Let's go.
All right. Well, the list I was looking at, they had him lower than I think he is. I just don't see a reason why he would be put down because similar to Sean Payton, might have not won a ton of Super Bowls, but he was always in the playoffs. Pete Carroll.
I can dig it.
I can dig it.
I like him as a person necessarily, but
I am at 6.
I had him at 6 as well. Nice. Yeah.
So my next pick is a little bit on the future still. Because this man almost lost his job a couple years ago. But turned it around by completely redesigning the offense.
I think I know who this is. Are you picking Harbaugh?
I'm going Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Was on the hot seat. Turned his offense completely to Lamar Jackson and run the ball, play defense. And they look like for the next few years are going to be a very great team. So, great job by Harbaugh.
Yep, I had him at 5 so far. We're pretty shocked with
The
what I.
better of the Harbaugh brothers, too. Sadly.
All right.
Hot take.
I don't know how that take is getting colder and colder every season.
It is. I'm sick of waiting, for sure. But he says they're the real deal this year.
Oh, well, they haven't been for 10 years, so.
And I think he says that every year, so.
Yeah. I actually don't think he said it last year.
He knew.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to go with the guy that I had at 4 and the guy that I coach with on Madden, Mr. Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, all right. I had him quite a bit lower.
Quite a bit. Oh.
Quite a bit.
Well, I think the Rooney Rule has to come into effect at some point on this list.
Right? I had him at 5.
I think he's right around where he's supposed to go.
Okay.
What'd you have him at?
Oh.
No, he doesn't want to say it.
I really don't like Mike Tomlin. Like, I don't think he's that good of a coach. I had him at 12.
He won a Super Bowl with Willie Parker as a running back. I don't know.
I think the guys above him have done more to impress me, at least going forward in their careers.
You know what? I might have misspoke. Mike Tomlin didn't win with Willie Parker. That was Bill Cowher's last one. No, Bill Cowher's last one was Jerome Bettis.
And Willie Parker. There was a tandem back.
Yeah.
So the one where Willie Parker had a 75-yard run? That was
in Detroit because the boss was pretty much a backup player at that point. Besides the playoffs, he had a good playoffs, but
all right, yeah, screw me. I'm glad I corrected myself before you guys did, or the media.
All right, like Tomlin, I just don't like him.
You can redeem me with pick 7, maybe.
Pick 7? Okay. I'll go with my number 6. Also a guy who's got a lot of upside going forward. A little bit of a controversial past. He might have a issue with choking, but I still think he's a great.
Is that Patricia's rape case?
Kyle Shanahan.
Okay. Kyle Shanahan, all right.
I think what he did with the 49ers was special. I think he was a great offensive coordinator for the Falcons, even though they have
28-3.
Yes, except for that. But
except for the real clutch Super Bowl performance as well.
That's what I said. Except for 2 chokes, he is a great coach. So
okay, so when it matters.
Well, I mean, we could say that about a lot of people on this list that played against.
Well, I mean, a lot of these people on this list didn't even make it that far. So yeah, I'll give him.
I had him at 8, so this is
I had him at 10. I had him at 10. I was a little mean, but
6, 8, 10. That sounds decent.
Every 2.
Yeah. See. All right. So I'm going. Got to keep the Super Bowl winning coaches in the top 10. So I'm going to go another guy who I think could win another one. It's going to be the Eagles head coach. Doug Peterson.
All right.
All right. Number 9, I am going to go with a kind of a surprise linebacker that's caught touchdowns in the NFL. I like who he is as a person. And this is running perfectly right now. But now I saw the rest of your list. You have McVay a little high, I'll be honest. I'm going to go with Mike Vrabel for Tennessee Titans right here. Running with a Ryan Tannehill all the way to the AFC Championship, you get brownie points from me.
That's impressive,
Yeah. I might have had him a little low, but yeah, I think he's got a solid upside. Well, I'm next, or is RJ next?
Nope, you're next.
All right. Well, I'll go with what RJ had and pick Sean McVay. Down year, but we've seen that happen a lot after losing to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. But I still think I don't want to say all like the ESPN, like he's a genius, he's an offensive mastermind, but like he is very young and he will have a very good career ahead of him.
And he's a beautiful looking person.
And that's the only thing I don't like. He's too attractive for a head coach.
Well, okay, Cliff Kingsbury would like a word. Matt LaFleur. Yeah. Matt LaFleur would like a word.
I don't believe in any of them because they're too attractive. I like my coaches looking like Andy Reid.
Even Mike Vrabel's attractive.
Yeah.
All right. Next
We're not going to make this weird now. I'm sorry.
I'll keep the attractive coaches going strong on this list. And I'm going to go with
Frank Reich.
Arians.
Bruce.
It's the hat, man. It's the hat.
I'm glad you guys didn't ask me where I put McVay in the last one anyway, because that was probably like where Isaiah put Mike Tomlin sort of thing.
How far down? We got to know now.
I have him at 18.
18.
Ooh.
Last year was a rough year, but I blame it more on the quarterback.
Since the Super Bowl where he put up a whopping 6 points, dude.
Right.
I think it's actually more impressive on the coach because now we know that they don't have a quarterback or a running back.
It happens to coaches that lose to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. There's another one who had quite the collapse, and his number starts with a 2 on my list. So
All right.
Yeah, mine too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple
Well, it
years
was a
ago.
good
it was
I think-
way higher.
It was a good
Wouldn't be
spot,
surprised
though.
if he got fired.
It was a good spot with Arians, RJ. I had him at 11 on my list.
Yeah. I had him at 8 on mine.
So next guy I have available is at 9 on my list, and that's Frank Reich from Indianapolis Colts.
All right.
I think with what he still pulled off somehow, losing Andrew Luck last second, basically, and then still putting together a really strong season. And injuries, again, cost him. T.Y. Hilton was out a majority of the year, their best receiver. So he was out there still putting together a strong game plan, working with his strengths. So.
All right. Well, my next pick, I don't think his team will finish this high next season. But I do think he's a great coach. I think he is a good coach going forward with this team. New team for him, Ron Rivera.
I got him right. I got him there at 12 on my list, so he's good.
Just I don't know. Maybe the Panthers just needed to change things up by getting rid of Cam Newton and Ron Rivera, but I still think maybe not Cam Newton as much, but Ron Rivera's got a good career ahead of him still. I mean, he's had a good career, but he's got some years left to just be good with a solid developing to become a solid young team. I won't say they're a good young team yet because they're not, but
That D-line's looking pretty nice, though.
right?
That's up there with 49ers. When we talk about defensive line rooms, we're going to have to put the 49ers and Redskins, I think, in the top two.
Yep, 1 and 2 right there. Next, I'm going to go with a guy who started out – he struggled a little bit at the beginning of his tenure, but he's got this team rolling now, and I think ready to knock off the king in the AFC East. I am going, of course, Sean McDermott, Buffalo Bills.
I can dig it. I got him at 15, so yeah, not a bad spot at all.
I'm at 15 too. Yeah.
I am going to go with a guy who obviously they look like they had a pretty talented roster last year. Didn't really show up last year, and that's why they've also moved on from quarterbacks now. But he's a former coach of the year. I'm going to go with Anthony Lynn for the Chargers.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go with a coach that only lost his job because his head quarterback didn't like him, and Mike McCarthy at the Cowboys. I thought that, what's his name? Jason Garrett should have got fired multiple years ago. Underperformed with that much talent on the roster. They needed to get a change of scenery. So I think Mike McCarthy, as long as Dak Prescott doesn't hate him and not talk to his family anymore and whatever it might be, like Aaron Rodgers, but as long as he keeps the locker room on his side, I think they're going to be very successful. I don't want them to be because I don't like the Cowboys, but I think they will.
No one really had a longer leash than Jason Garrett with the Cowboys, other than maybe Marvin Lewis with the Bengals.
Yeah.
Those leashes were incredibly long for a while there.
I think Jerry Jones just forgot he was the head coach and just was like, who is that guy? And then he would forget to fire him on Monday.
But even if you look at it all the way back from when Parcells was the coach of the Cowboys, they have only gone through 3 head coaches. They don't go through coaches very often.
I mean, it took him 6 meetings just to fire the guy, too, and then he ended up giving him a promotion pretty much. He's still with the organization.
Yeah.
I think another coach like that to me is Mike Tomlin. Steelers do not move on from coaches ever. Even if Mike Tomlin is not a good coach, I think he is, but
he's a good coach. He worked with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph last year.
True. But
they almost made
he also has a long
in the new playoff rules, they would have made it in the NFC.
Yeah.
So
with Duck Hodges.
Yeah, that says a lot. I think Tomlin's a great coach, to be honest. But we'll have to see again this year because I think he is going to run out of time again if he doesn't start winning some playoff games again. But yeah, we can go on to number 17. I'm sorry.
All right, so this is the part of the list where we're getting the dumpster fire coaches, the new coaches, or still young coaches. So I'm going to go with a guy who had a great start to his career and hopefully gets better if he gets rid of that quarterback. I'm going to go Matt LaFleur, Packers.
Nice. Right.
Get rid of Aaron Rodgers, I'll put him higher on my list.
He was the next guy available on my list too. So.
All right.
I
had one guy before him left on my list, but I like where he is.
I'm going to go with a guy here that
I'll do it.
you don't even know what I'm doing. It's actually probably not exactly who you don't think it's not who it is. Who do you think I'm picking here, dude? Because it's not them.
We'll see.
All right. Well, I'm going with a guy that was in the Bill Belichick tree at one point. So RJ still thinks I'm going to go with the right one because it's still in his head. I know who he thinks I'm going to go with. It's not correct. I'm going with the guy that, they were supposed to tank for Tua last year and they did not. But I think he's a good coach because still made it with Devontae Parker and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Actually looked like a pretty reputable tandem for a little bit last year. They squeaked off a bunch of wins at the end of the season. Brian Flores.
I like that pick, actually. That was good.
I like that pick, too. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go with a guy, as RJ said, a past few coaches, had a good career a while back, or at the beginning of his career, I should say.
RJ's expressions are.
That's what I
People
thought
may
Joel-
not. He was always sought after to get out of the ESPN booth and back into coaching.
Oh.
John Gruden.
That's who I thought you were going to go with at first.
I thought you thought I was going to go with Patricia.
No, you can't be. No, I mean, you're not crack.
You didn't
Yes.
try to test me before this.
Joel knows how much I hate John Gruden. I think he's the most overrated coach in the history of the NFL. His Super Bowl win was Tony Dungy's team. He took over. Got lucky he played the Raiders, who didn't change a single thing about their offense after he left. So and he just has destroyed every team he's went to. And
But who's left on the list? Who's left on the list to be over? Like,
I just hate him. I can't stand him.
Where did you put
there's
him?
not
RJ?
many people
Where did you
left
put
to
him?
take over.
You didn't put him at 32, surely. Let's hear what you got. Where'd you have him?
I didn't. I mean, I put him up pretty close to where you have him. I just hate him.
Yeah. I mean, I had him at 21, so.
Yep. I'm at 20, so we're in the same boat. But it's,
Wow, I had him worse than you, and you're bashing on him way harder than me.
I can't stand the guy. I think he's and the fact that he got a 10-year deal is laughable.
Banana man.
Yes, I will say he is overrated. He is not worth 10 years, $10 million. But
Can you imagine how boring Frank Caliendo would be right now if he wasn't around?
oh,
Caliendo makes a living off Gruden.
He's got Madden.
But, yeah, those are good. Those videos are good with Madden. But Gruden,
What about his Jim Rome?
he doesn't do Rome very much anymore, man.
Yeah, but-
PFT commenter does a better Jim Rome.
I have to listen to his. I don't think I've heard his, but
It's not good.
all right, RJ. I think you are picking 20 here.
Oh, there's a lot of trash left, so that's why I get why you went with Gruden. I'm gonna go with a guy who was a great defensive coordinator. Started out pretty hot as head coach, but it's slowed down a little bit. I think he's still a decent coach though in the NFC North. I'm gonna go Mike Zimmer, the Vikings.
I thought you were going with Matt Patricia there. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about where he was the next highest on my list, so I like it.
And I am going to go with the NFC North head coach then. But it's not Matt Patricia. It's Matt Nagy.
Oh,
Chicago Bears.
I actually have Matt Nagy lower than Matt Patricia.
21's probably not. You probably didn't have him lower than 25, though. If you're still within 4, you're probably fine.
Yeah, I got Nagy at 24.
Okay. So
All right.
It's not bad.
I'm going to go with someone who is a bad GM.
Okay. I know. But why? Why now?
Why, sorry, you guys froze for a second. Why now what?
Well, why are you picking him now? Why are you picking that GM now?
Because I'm not taking into factor his GM abilities when I'm talking
He
about.
should be higher than if it's not GM abilities. It's GM abilities.
You have to mark him down though because of his GM abilities.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know.
I did. That's what I did in my list.
He's exactly where he should be.
I agree.
Okay. Bill O'Brien, Houston Texans.
They should just hire an actual GM. But whatever. I still think he's a decent head coach. I believe in Deshaun Watson. Maybe David Johnson will just be incredible and we'll all be eating our own words. But
And like I was saying, I think DeAndre Hopkins maybe gets hurt in week 2, and it looks like a genius move.
right. Yeah.
That was a horrible trade. Horrible trade.
It was terrible. There are only a couple options where it's a good trade.
I'm
Otherwise,
surprised Deshaun Watson's still on the roster with the way he's been doing his moves. Next season.
I thought he was bringing Tom Savage back for sure.
trade him for Matt Stafford.
Brock Osweiler is paying that contract.
Oh, man. This is some real trash cycling through. I'm going to give this guy just the nod because he's been to a Super Bowl. It's been pretty rough the
I know
last few
you're
years.
going. Gosh, now you're going to make it really hard on me, though.
It started great. The last few years has not been so great, but he made it to a Super Bowl, so I'll give Dan Quinn a bone here. I'll throw him a bone.
All right, it's where I had him. So
No, that was my next available guy, too. And now, to me, now it really is trash or noobs. Like, for sure. Dan Quinn was, like, my last one that I was like, not terrible.
I think I would not be surprised if Dan Quinn is not on or not a head coach at the end of the season.
Well, so he was supposed to not be a head coach at the end of last season, but he
Right.
fought for his job and came out with a 7-9 season still. So
Yeah.
They were 1-7, and they went on a huge winning streak.
if this says right here how I feel about the last NFC North coach, let me tell you that he is still not going right now. I'm going to put a rookie head coach, probably the top rookie head coach this year, Matt Rule, for the Carolina Panthers next. I mean, what he did with Baylor and everything, he's
I
good.
wasn't even that harsh on Patricia.
No, I put Matt Rule ahead of put Matt Patricia for sure.
All right.
25.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with Sean McVay's, who took Sean McVay's crown as the most attractive coach. I'm gonna go with Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh.
I still think he has, I don't know, he had all this offensive prowess coming out of college, and everyone was super excited for him. Didn't live up to the expectations last year, but he's still got a shot.
Rookie coaches struggle all the time. That's not a bad pick.
Yeah.
I admit
Still an
25th.
exciting quarterback. Still has some playmaking. I mean, they have DeAndre Hopkins. So I think he could look a lot better this year.
Mm-hmm.
I had him next too. But this list is getting worse and worse. This guy, I thought was actually a good fit for this team, but so far it's been an absolute disaster. But I think maybe he can turn it around. Maybe. I just can't go rookie coaches yet. I'm gonna go Doug Marrone. Not Matty P. No.
Wow. Oh, I don't think you can make me pass up Matt Patricia twice. I'm going to go with Matt Patricia here for the Detroit Lions then. That's who I have next available in line. I had him my list at 24, but I
26. So.
Okay. I don't know. He obviously he took a Jim Caldwell team and basically ruined it. I'll tell you that. I miss Jim Caldwell a lot these days. I'll take that mediocre 9-7. But obviously Quinn basically had a pretty solid draft this year. They filled in a lot of spaces they really needed. They've still got money left, so if they really want to gamble on behavior with Jadeveon Clowney still hanging out there, they can get Clowney for $10.5 million or something. Do it. So you're giving Matt Stafford all the tools you need right now too. So this is basically Matt Stafford's real try year too, along with Quinn and Patricia. I think all three of those guys' jobs are on the line though.
Yeah. Oh man, there's not much left to pick from. This is a lot of fun. Shoot. Well, I'm gonna go with Vic Fangio just because I feel like it. Broncos didn't do absolutely atrocious last year. I mean, they didn't do good, but I mean, they showed some sparks with Drew Lock and Cortland, or was it Cortland Sutton? Who was their
Wide receivers?
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton, yeah.
I mean, it was entertaining to watch for a couple weeks, but I'm just picking what is the shiniest piece of trash left. So.
Well, I'm going to take another piece of trash that I think could be shined up with a freshly new number 1 overall pick that could make the offense a lot better.
Who, Joe Judge?
I'm going to go with Zach Taylor, Cincinnati Bengals.
All
right. I'm going to take the most beady-eyed freak y'all ever seen. Take Adam Gase, New York Jets. My mom told me it's not nice to call people beady-eyed freaks, but Adam Gase is a beady-eyed freak.
The shoe fits. All right.
Bottom two.
Bottom two. So I'm just going to pick who I think is going to have the best record at the end of the season next year, and that's Kevin Stefanski. I just think the Browns are a better team, so I'm guessing he will be looked at as a better coach at the end of next year.
Gosh, he was just not a good coordinator, though, either. It was a strange hire.
I know.
They're the king of strange hires. They do this every time.
I like Freddie Kitchens.
One and done, man. One and done.
Well, you can't dislike a man with the last name Kitchens.
That's true. I get hungry every time I think about him.
Who was that?
Of course.
One?
That leaves Joe Judge as dead
Ishmael
last.
Kitchens.
Joe Judge.
Did we all have him as dead last?
I had him at 32, yeah.
So did I.
Isaiah froze up over in the corner, so maybe if he wants to come back to us soon. But Joe Judge, obviously, again, he was a special teams coordinator, wasn't he? And then he just got
wide receiver. He was a wide receiver coach for the Patriots.
Okay.
It's not impressive because the receiving corps sucks.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think we all had him at 32, though, and I don't know if we're going to get that confirmation anytime soon from Isaiah.
Yeah, he's gone. Hello?
R.I.P.
So we lost Ryan and him in this episode. Sad day.
At least.
There it goes. Oh, no. How's trivia going to work now? So you're going to easily win this trivia.
A win! By default.
Well, I had the top four perfect and top five perfect and the bottom three perfect.
Who was the biggest reach on here that I'm looking at? I don't know, man. In my order here, I have obviously Sean McVay, going. I have Sean McVay at. Hey, Isaiah's back. Hey.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you should be. Did you reset your internet router?
Yeah, I just disconnected and reconnected.
The biggest reach I saw that I had on my list was actually Anthony Lynn.
So I had him at 13 on my list, but he went 15.
I had him at 22 on my list.
So that coach of the year means nothing to you, like Dan Quinn's Super Bowl means nothing to you.
That's why I had Dan Quinn also in the 20s.
I had Anthony Lynn also at 22.
What have you done for me lately is a big part of the list. Unless you got rings. You got to count those.
I'm excited to see what Anthony Lynn does with a different leading running back and a different leading quarterback.
Yeah, he's got a rookie quarterback, new shiny toy. I don't know. More mobility.
Yeah.
Maybe it kind of helps open up the offense a little bit more. I think Mike Williams is due for another decent season, so we'll see.
All right, ready to get into our top five potential next dynasty list?
Yeah, we'll do it. I guess I want to ask you guys a question, though. So, obviously, we stated dynasty is going to basically signify what team is going to have the most success in the next 5 to 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And then what kind of things do you guys believe need to be in place to create a dynasty?
A good coach.
Head coach, quarterback, overall talent. You got to be able to win. Teams that we think can win more than one Super Bowl in the next 5 to 10 years.
So I think that's why when I asked that question, I obviously think good coach, you guys nailed that one, but quarterback I think needs to be more specific. Are we going to look at a future young quarterback, like obviously Patrick Mahomes? We might bring them up at some point in this, but good young quarterback. Lamar Jackson, good young quarterback. Maybe Justin Herbert or Tua can create a dynasty. Are we going to open it up to any young quarterback we believe has true talent to carry this team on their first contract the first 5 years?
It's your list. If you think Tua is going to bring them to multiple Super Bowls in the next 5 years, go ahead and put them on your list.
Yeah, I had a lot of teams that I think are like a good young quarterback away from being a dynasty, or a couple things away, but I didn't include them.
Okay. Yeah, I listed 7 possible teams that I think could be a dynasty.
Cut it down to 5.
I can try to cut it down to 5.
I got 5, but
I think we're all going to be unanimous on the most.
Let's start with number 5. We'll each say 5, and we'll go down. Want to do that?
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
All right. Want me to start it off?
Shoot.
All right. Now, my number 5 is because I think they have a 2-year window to win 2 Super Bowls. And to me, if you win 2 in a 5-year window, you're a dynasty. So I'm going to go Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 5.
Wow.
Yeah, I have Tampa Bay on my list of 7, but I would have to cut it down, so I didn't know where to put them in. But that's a good point on a 2-year window. 2 years, 2 Super Bowls, in a 5 to 10 year window. That's
yeah.
You think they would be able to at least then at some point draft a quality quarterback? Maybe
That's all luck, though. You don't know. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. We don't have.
And maybe this is the time I come out and say, I don't know how much of a believer I am in the Buck. I'm a believer in Tom Brady. I love their offense, like their coach, their offense that they have around Tom Brady. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. I think the ceiling for this next season for the Bucks is the NFC Championship.
Yeah. Well, I think
yeah.
But they don't need one game to, get them in.
I know, but I don't see them. I can hardly see them getting there. I don't think they'll be any higher.
So they obviously, I don't know if they win the division over the New Orleans Saints this year, but
I
think they at least get a wild card. I don't think the Panthers or the Falcons are a real threat this year, but I think worst case, I think the Bucks can squeak out a 9-7 season at the worst, and I think they squeak a wild card game in.
I think it's a good shot. They're 11-win wild card team.
Yeah, I mean, if any team is this year, it's probably the Bucks. I think Bruce Arians is a good enough head coach. I like Bruce Arians even when we was the Cardinals. So,
yeah, I just can't see you winning 2 Super Bowls in the next 2 years when you're not even the best team in your division.
It is unprecedented. On top of that, and we always want to count Tom Brady out, but we'll really see. I mean, obviously,
the Giants won 2 Super Bowls. Both those times, they were not the best team in the division. They were a wild card team.
But in 2 years,
and the fact that you can name them doesn't make me believe the Bucks can do it.
We'll see. That's why they're number 5 on my list. That's my dark horse.
All right, Isaiah, who would you put somewhere on this list?
At 5.
Well, my number 5, because I did not have the Bucks on my list. My number 5 was also a team in the same division that has possibly a short window.
Are we going to lose him again?
Yeah.
All right, I think he was going to say the New Orleans Saints, and that's, again, what I have them at 5 on my list, so we would have the same thing. Again, NFC South, and that is
the reason why I didn't put the Saints on my list is I think this is Breeze's last year.
Well, okay, but I think in a Sean Payton led team, maybe Jameis Winston gets his act together, is back, gets to learn behind Drew Brees. He didn't have that opportunity with Tampa Bay, and I'm not gonna cut Jameis Winston any real slack here because he's still had 4+ years to prove himself in this league. So no, I'm not going to give him a whole lot of slack, but I do believe that best case scenario, he learns behind Drew Brees.
Best case scenario is that dude's serving fries at Burger King 4 years. That guy's a bum.
Taysom Hill.
I'd much rather have Taysom Hill as my starting quarterback.
Hey!
Sorry again, guys. I don't know what's happening. It just cuts out and then it works fine.
At first, I thought it was my internet, but then I'm like, no, RJ's moving just fine on my internet. So I don't know if I thought it was me at first, but
yeah. I don't know how much you guys heard, but I put the New Orleans Saints at my number 5 of next dynasties. Like I said, I don't know if you heard this when I said it, but even once Drew Brees is done, they're one quarterback to plug in, and they're back in the mix for a Super Bowl. So, yeah. I have them at number 5. I believe in them having a dynasty more than I believe in Tampa Bay having a dynasty.
I had the Saints at 5. So while you were away, I filled in your blank, and I'm like, I think I know what direction he's going here.
Yeah.
And then I filled in your blank, and I tried to give my fight. RJ tried to poke a little hole in my balloon, but
No, I just said the only reason I didn't have the Saints ahead of Tampa Bay is I think this is Drew Brees' last year. And I don't think it's as easy as to get a quarterback to continue winning a Super Bowl, and I'm not a believer in Jameis Winston. And I don't really believe Taysom Hill is a Super Bowl winning quarterback either.
Jameis Winston got eye surgery. He's going to throw for 60 touchdowns.
And 75 interceptions.
No, all the interceptions turn into touchdowns.
That's what happened. If you take away the interceptions, he's a great quarterback. He
They
said it.
get 30,
yeah.
and those weren't like, those weren't tip balls. Those were just horribly thrown passes, man. Almost every one of those interceptions were his fault.
Yes. But I think all you have to do is Sean Payton for Jameis Winston to be successful is show him how to read linebackers, and that gets rid of 10 to 15 interceptions, maybe more, just because that was Jameis Winston's biggest thing. He just does not see these linebackers lurking and just throws a ball right to him.
This has been his MO, though. I mean, college, he turned the ball over all the time in college. I just don't think he's that smart. I mean, the guy's obviously made some questionable character issue concerns with stealing things or staying on tables and yelling inappropriate things, comparing himself to Tom Brady.
And not buying a grandma house.
Not buying his grandma a house when he's a loaded millionaire and there's still like 15 people living in that house. The dude just cares about himself.
All right, well, RJ, who do you have in your number 4 slot of future dynasties if you are not picking the Saints in your list?
I went overall talented team that I think was an idiot coach that was holding him back and an idiot owner that's also holding him back. If this owner will let go of his leash a little bit, I think this team is loaded. I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
All right. I did not even put them on my list of 7. That's a good pick, though. I didn't really think about that. Kind of dark horse.
They were my first one out of my top 5. I had them at 6. I need to see a year of great success before I think they could be a dynasty. But I think it will happen this year.
Yeah, to me, I still think Dak Prescott's overrated, and he was asking for too much
Oh,
money.
Oh, yeah.
He is not worth. Yeah, he's worth $20 million to me.
He's trying to play the market right now, and obviously, he's just going to let that backfire if he keeps trying to fight this too much longer.
I think he actually will win if he keeps playing. I mean, you see what Kirk Cousins got. As soon as Mahomes signs his deal,
oh my goodness,
dude, everyone's going to get a huge pay raise, and he should hold off as long as possible, like Kirk Cousins did. And he's going to get paid because there's not 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL that are good.
But how much worse would the Dallas Cowboys be if they just picked up Cam Newton?
Depends.
I like Cam Newton, but he's hurt.
Is his shoulder
if he's
done?
healthy, yeah. If he's like healthy,
he's
play
good.
14 games.
Oh, yeah. If he's healthy,
he plays 14 games.
A beast. And I would much rather have him over Dak, but that dude's shoulder is jacked up. I don't know if he is healthy.
Yeah, I like, again, Isaiah said, assuming he's healthy for 14 games or his shoulder's back to normal, dude's going to put – that's a playoff team for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's the thing. His shoulder just must look like lunch meat because no team will touch him. But,
Good.
no, I think there's guys out there who are just better than Dak Prescott.
Fair enough. Who do you got at 4?
And at my number 4, I have a team who has had good success in the past years, has a recent Super Bowl, had a quarterback leading for a bit for the MVP last season, the Seattle Seahawks. I think I like Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, if he just keeps up an MVP caliber, pumping those seasons out, if they stay at the top of their division, if they can. That's going to be so many good battles with the 49ers. But, yeah, I think they have the potential to just be competitive in Super Bowls for the next 5 years.
They have sorry, RJ, they have the coach down. I just think that GM makes questionable decisions in the draft every year. The last 3 years in the draft, they're picking a bunch of weirdos out of the first round, and I'm like, okay, this guy doesn't really seem to fit. At least we're expert. Obviously, they may be the ultimate experts, and we're just couch experts. But I never agree with any of their first-round picks, and I think you have to hit on your first-round picks to be helpful starters in the NFL to have long-term success.
I agree with you right there, actually, because the reason why I had them at 6, and the reason why I had them down is because of their decision-making and player acquisition. The rumor came out that they actually tried to trade away Russell Wilson to the Cleveland Browns when they had the overall pick.
The article, it kind of sounded like the Browns called them and the Seahawks almost laughed in their face. It didn't seem like it was really going to go through. That's from how I interpreted the article.
Yeah, but just the fact that there's just too many concerns with that organization and how their draft picks are always horrible. So I had them at 6, not that far down, but and the fact that they had to go against San Fran twice a year.
Yeah,
I think
that's the tough thing.
when I have them higher on my list, that's why I took them a little bit lower.
Yeah. No, it's going to be hard for them to get looks at first-round buys and home field advantage in the playoffs. So with San Francisco in their division and just the strength of the NFC. But if they just if they figure a couple things out, I just think the next 5 years look really bright for them.
My number 4 is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. As you saw on the list for coaches, I have Frank Reich pretty high. I have him at 9 on my list. So I think he's a quality coach. I just like him as a man of character. And what he did without Andrew Luck, now they have Phillip Rivers, who is a proven NFL quarterback. He's obviously going to lose some attribute points with us because of his age, and he hasn't really proven much in the last couple of years. But if they have a smooth transition, even after Phillip Rivers, so whether it's Jacoby Brissett again or they find another quarterback, they can get in the mid-round draft, because I don't think they'll ever be higher than a mid-round pick unless they make it some kind of trade at some point. But I think they're going to be fighting for playoffs every single year, and I think as long as you're a team that's going to continuously fight for playoffs, find a bunch of like Chester Rogers or Zach Pascals that make a difference in your passing game, like they're finding random pieces that we don't really think about at the beginning of the season in our fantasy drafts to keep the ball moving down the field on offense. So, because T.Y. Hilton's good for getting hurt every single year, and somehow they still got somebody else that's going to step in. I think a lot of that's coaching. I think I like their GM over there, and I think they've made some pretty good decisions. And obviously, given a bad cast of luck with Andrew Luck walking off, but I think they're obviously a potential for dynasty just because they have the ability to win every single year.
Yeah, the only person that handled the Andrew Luck thing better than Frank Wright was myself, who drafted Andrew Luck in fantasy football and still went on to win his 3rd straight championship in Joel's league.
Yeah, I was toying with the Colts on my list. If I would have put them anywhere, they probably would have been number 7. I only filled out 6. But yeah, I think they have a great young team. The question marks at quarterback. I know Phillip Rivers has just been solid for the past few years, but I don't know. If any of those late 30s, early 40s quarterbacks are falling off a cliff, it's Phillip Rivers. So I don't think this year they're going to be competitive, and at least as far of going making it past the first round of the playoffs. So that narrows their 5-year window down to 4 years in my mind. And then I still think those next 4 years look really bright for them, depending on who takes Phillip Rivers' spot. But I'm not saying this year's a wash. Just don't worry about it. But I could see them making the wild card and or even a first round playoff, winning their division. But I don't see much past that.
Okay, so you have them at least winning their division. I was going to say I disrespectfully disagree with you. I think they will win I think they'll win even a playoff game. I think Phillip Rivers, even though he's obviously losing, points on overall ratings or whatever, if you want to compare it to Madden, but I think even he is a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett, and I think they're a better team than what they were last year with Jacoby Brissett full time. So I think just for that reason, I think they at least get one playoff win out of this. I just don't. Yeah, again, I don't know if they get much past that, but they have that ability to win every year.
Yeah. They're a team that it really would depend on their first-round matchup.
I can dig it. All right, RJ, who you got at 3?
Number 3, much like my Cowboys pick, I'm going with a team that's fully loaded, that I think is just maybe a better quarterback away from winning Super Bowls. I'm going to go San Francisco 49ers. I'm not that sold on Jimmy G. That team, that D-line is stacked. They have tons of wide receivers now, tons of running backs. And I think a smart young head coach.
I won't have to say my number 3. I picked the exact same. I had the 49ers at 3 as well. Again, their running backs, Raheem Mostert and Tevin Coleman was always his backup, and Matt Breida, who was undrafted, and then you have Jeff Wilson has success when he comes in. Jerick McKinnon's back from injury. They are stacked at running back, and they're proving that in this league you can just run with a community of backs and have ample success. They make it work, and their offensive line opens holes no matter who's back there. They just make it work. And Kyle Shanahan's obviously he gets a lot of flack because he's been the least clutch coach in the last couple of years, but I think he's a quality coach. And again, I think they're going to be back to win the NFC West again this year with that defense they've got going. And that defense is young. I mean, once you get rid of Richard Sherman, they'll find a replacement for him or something. That's a young defense with a young pass rush, which is super key for defense. And that's why I agree 100%. I have him at 3 on my list.
Yeah, I had him at 3 as well. Honestly, like if we weren't doing top 5, I would only have 3 teams at next dynasties because really, like, there's a couple teams like we've talked about the Saints, Seattle, Cowboys, Colts that are like, oh yeah, they have potential to be a dynasty for a few years and be successful for a few years. Really, there's only 3 teams I honestly see competing for Super Bowls and their conference championships over the next 5 years. Yeah, the first one of those is the 49ers. Like RJ said, if Jimmy G just develops a little more, maybe, I don't know if it's learning the offense or just getting some more skills or just like thriving a little more with a better quarterback coach, if they think that's a thing. But if he just takes a little bit of a step up, then they're going to be in the NFC Championship for years to come.
Yeah, so I'll let Isaiah then pick number 2 since we're all unanimous on that one. Who do you have at 2?
Yeah, I got to pick the Ravens. I don't know. It's always weird to just pick like the hottest quarterback in the league. It's failed more times in my mind than it's succeeded. But that team, other than Lamar Jackson, is just stacked. Their running back room is great. Their defense is always great, like the Ravens are, and John Harbaugh coaching them. They had, if you want to talk about choking, they had an all-time choke job in my mind this season in the playoffs. But with Lamar Jackson, if he just keeps being this good, throwing for this many touchdowns while also rushing for 1,000 yards a season, they're going to be meeting the number 1 team on all our lists in the AFC Championship every year, or at least more years than they don't.
I have them at number 2, and I think that probably means we'll have the same number 1. But, yeah, Ravens, Lamar Jackson, his athleticism, it's exactly what we talked about prior to this segment is you need a good coach, John Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. You need a good quarterback that's young, Lamar Jackson. And they keep adding to that running game to make it even more of a massive threat with now J.K. Dobbins. We didn't really think they needed a running back too bad because they still had success. So obviously now you had J.K. Dobbins. You had a defense that's very fast to the ball. Maybe not the most talented if you look at overall rating, but very fast to the ball. So I think they have a strong defense too. And I think that, like you said, they'll be worst case, I think, AFC divisional, and probably best case Super Bowls and AFC championships for years to come.
Yeah, I agree. I have the Ravens at 2 also. You have a great coach. You have arguably the most electrifying quarterback to watch in the NFL, and they do it the right way. They do it by a great defense and running the football. That's how you win championships. I know it's all flashy with passing, but when it gets to bad cold weather months, you want to be able to run the ball. You want to be able to play defense. That's exactly how they build their teams. And that's why, man, how great would it be to see our number 2 and our number 1 battling it out for the next 5 to 10 years. Kind of like we saw Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
Pretty boring, actually. I don't like seeing the same teams. That's why I like the Patriots for a little bit, but then you get sick of seeing the Patriots every year. So, yeah. I mean,
Dynasty. I think of watching 2 teams battle, though.
That's
Tom
true.
Brady, Peyton Manning, battling it for all those years was great.
Yeah, and if Bill O'Brien didn't suck so bad, you could have the Houston Texans on that list too, because for the most part, Bill O'Brien as a coach, check. Deshaun Watson, check. But they just missed my top 5 just because of the way that he runs that team. But
I know I wanted to give a shout out to the Texans just because if he had not made these offseason moves, they would be on my top 5 of dynasties. I love Deshaun Watson. Even if he doesn't get hurt, DeAndre Hopkins can give competition for the best receiver in the league. They're a young team. I like them, or at least young at good positions where you need to be young. But I know just some decisions kicked them out for me to not even think about them.
Yep. You can only make so many bad choices till people are going to start giving up on you. I think a lot of people would have had the Texans in there for a while. And, I still think that makes it the playoffs. It's going to be managing the team, though, and I think managing the team is the one thing that Bill O'Brien should let somebody else do, to be honest.
Yes.
So I think that leads us to number 1, RJ. So announce the number 1.
The defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
I mean, it's no brainer.
I'm just kidding.
Like super checks. You get super check pluses like they did in kindergarten report cards.
They were down by 10 points in every game of the playoffs and still came back to win all of them by, I think, double digits. So, I mean, it was the most impressive run I've ever seen in any sport, what they did this past playoffs.
Yeah. I've been watching The Last Dance. It just ended this Sunday. And you get all these video clips of early on in Michael Jordan's career where these legends just say, like, oh, he's the greatest basketball player I've ever seen play. Even though he was in his 20s, still hadn't won a championship, wasn't the GOAT we know him as now. And they were just like, oh, he's just better than everyone. Like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, these guys were saying that. And I'm not going to call Patrick Mahomes the GOAT because he only has one championship. He's still young. But, like, I think I get the same feeling watching him of, like, oh, he might just be the most talented football player I have ever seen in my life. Like, he does things I can't imagine anyone doing. Obviously, he does not have the resume yet. He's got a long ways to go to be called the GOAT. But he may just be the most talented NFL player that the league's ever seen.
I agree. So that concludes our discussion segment of the next possible dynasties. We are going to finish the show off with some sports trivia. RJ is hosting, and it's Isaiah and I head-to-head.
Oh,
yeah. I had decided to take a week off since I've, continued to win every week. So I thought I'd give you guys a chance to get a win. I think –
Just like Patrick Mahomes, RJ, just like Patrick Mahomes, there's not enough of a resume. So
2-0, man. They're saying he could be the greatest of all time, just like me. So Joel, I believe Joel is 1-1, right?
Yep.
And that, 0-2. Okay. This is your day, okay?
No, it's not.
10 questions, just sports. Kind of go all over the place. So I do got one bonus question in there too, just to kind of help you out, because every time I do a bonus question, it seems to throw everyone off. So let's start off with question 1. Which sports equipment is black?
I'm pretty sure Isaiah froze up. Wake up. Of course he would bail right now.
Right.
Good.
One of these, I'm just going to hold it. He's going to pause it and make us think he froze, but he's not really
I
frozen.
don't think he didn't ask the question yet because he's totally paused his screen to go Google it.
Right. Simple. Oh, there we go.
Hey, he'll be back, right? Or he'll send us a text and say, sorry, I didn't want to play trivia.
Right. I can't go 0-3, guys. Come on.
Not reputable anymore. All right. Hey, there he is again. There he is again.
You there?
All right. He's connecting to audio. He's connected.
There we go.
All right, guys. This is getting real frustrating, so I apologize.
You're only doing it once every segment, so it's fine.
Yeah. So, all right. Before we lose you again, let's get right into it. Question 1. Which sports equipment is black, 1 inch thick, 3 inches in diameter, and weighs between 5.5 and 6 ounces?
What in the balls? What sports equipment is what?
It's black, it's 1 inch thick, 3 inches in diameter, and weighs between 5.5 and 6 ounces.
Come on, Joel.
Why?
Put a timer on this.
All right, I'm going to go with this.
All right, let's put them up. You both got it right.
Hey.
Why did I overthink that? I was like, is that a baseball?
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing, man?
There's a T-ball question to get us started,
A helmet?
I was trying to picture how big 3 inches in diameter was, or 6 inches, whatever. So I was like thinking, is a glove, a baseball glove? But they're not all black, so that can't be that easy.
All right, question 2. In which event did Bruce Jenner win the gold medal in the 1976 Olympics?
Call me Caitlin, baby. Call me Caitlin.
All right, go ahead.
I
can't. Diving? No, God, diving. Yeah, it was a decathlon.
Hey.
I can just picture that man in a Speedo, especially now.
Oh, man, you killed me.
Oh, boy.
All right. Isaiah, is this your first lead?
This is.
I already feel like you're just catering this to me.
You know what? This is true because now you're so high on Kyle Shanahan, you're about to pull a Kyle Shanahan now. Hang on.
All
Oh
right.
boy.
Which two coaches have both won the Rose Bowl and a Super Bowl?
Oh, I know one.
We have to name both.
Both. One's current, one is not.
Ooh. How long ago did the other one, retire?
A little while ago.
All right, I got mine.
One is college coach. Which college team it was?
Ooh.
Yeah, what college team was it?
For both of them or just one?
Oh, I know one. We all know the one.
UCLA.
Oh, I might have got mine wrong. Okay.
Huh, that doesn't help me at all.
All right.
Right.
Oh, Joel's thinking now. Don't overthink it. You might have had it right.
I don't think he coached for you.
At what time era?
Whatever. I'll take half my point.
I'm just gonna write one down.
If I say it before you announce if it's correct, do I get something?
You can write it down.
But I already wrote the other one down. That I think it's like my second choice, basically.
Here, go ahead. What is it?
Now, can I write down 3 names
No.
and just keep making a list of people I think it might be?
No, I'll just write down every coach that won a Super Bowl in history.
Yeah. Eventually you'll get them right.
You don't even know them all. What coach won in Super Bowl 4?
Probably like the guy from Green Bay whose name escapes me. Lombardi, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with it. I think it's Jim Mora. Is it Jim Mora? But maybe not.
No, it's not Jim Mora. Jim Mora never won a Super Bowl. Mike Ditka, Pete Carroll, no. Pete Carroll, Don Shula. You both got Pete Carroll right. The other one was actually Dick Vermeil.
Whoa, good one. Was he Super Bowl coach for the Rams?
Yeah.
Well, look at that.
Cool.
Question 4. In a big upset in boxing, what boxer stunned Mike Tyson? Huge underdog.
Oh.
Knocked him out in his prime.
Oh. How do I not know this?
I don't think I know it, but I have an educated guess.
Give me the letter the name starts with, and I can get it.
You white?
No, that's too much of a hint. Oh.
Why don't you just give the initials? Maybe spell out his first name.
Spell his first name.
Yeah, how do you spell his name?
Okay, it is, no.
All right, I think I got it.
I think I do too.
Ready?
I'm not sure. It's an educated guess.
Not Holyfield. Yes, it's
Buster
Buster
Douglas.
Douglas.
Buster Douglas, nice job. Now you're really choking if it's Kyle Shanahan indeed right before me.
Yeah, we're almost to 28-3.
Oh, he
All right.
froze up again. I don't think you did it in time.
Ah.
I wonder if we're freezing up to him or if he just knows I don't know how this is going.
It's working for him. He's up 3-1.
Yeah, he's probably taking a look at your hand. Are you texting him the answers?
Right.
Something's going on down there.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just can't. Hey.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Video.
Did you still hear me when I was cussing?
No, I didn't. There was no customer.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, was I right, RJ?
You were right. Yes, you're now up 3-1.
You were up 28-3.
All right.
All right. Question 5.
Just run the football. Don't throw.
Run.
Don't get a holding call.
All right. Which team was the first to win 3 Super Bowls? This is multiple choice. Make it a little easier for you. Is it A, the Dallas Cowboys, B, the Green Bay Packers, C, the San Francisco 49ers, or D, the Pittsburgh Steelers?
All right.
All right.
All right, go ahead. Steelers. You both got it right.
Oh, gone and RJ. You're making these too easy for Isaiah.
All right, this one's a little tougher for you then. How many panels make up a soccer ball?
What in the dog crap? No one cares about
Oh,
soccer.
like little pieces?
Yes, how many of those?
Like, do they white ones or black ones?
All of them. Did we lose them? Oh, no. They're still there? Okay. You were just pondering and thought so hard, I thought you froze.
No, I'm still here.
Balls, man. I don't know.
Are you talking about the little hexagons and pentagons?
Yes.
Can you give me
Pentagrams. Pentagrams.
What?
Can you give me like a ballpark, like multiple choice?
Oh, wow.
Do you want multiple choice?
I don't know. Like, I'm just like, I have no idea like whether it's like 100 or like 2.
Well, what if RJ makes them like 31, 32, 33, 34? That'd be fun.
I'd be fine with that.
Gosh.
How about this? It's under 50.
Okay, that helps my answer. I mean, that's what I have.
All right, I'm just gonna guess.
All right, go ahead. You both said 36.
Oh,
wow. What was it?
It's 32.
Oh,
I was gonna write that.
nice educated guess, dude.
I almost said like Joel just said it correctly when he said 31, 32, 33, 34.
Yeah.
That has to count for something.
No,
close.
nothing. 0. Counts for -1 point.
All right, question 7. Presidential ceremonial pitches have been a tradition in the Major League Baseball since 1910. Who was the first president to throw out the first ceremonial pitch?
In 1910?
1910.
Who was the president in 1910?
That's usually the question.
There you go.
I have an idea. I think I know, like, maybe.
Gosh, I do.
Did you just Google? I heard like the being like you talk to Alexa. Alexa, who's the president?
I said, "Hey Siri," but then I shut it off. Gosh.
All right, I think I'm wrong, because I think I went 1920s. But, gosh, I'm trying to remember who was before this guy, because I bet if it's not him, it's the guy before.
I know who you're thinking of too, Joel.
Oh, it might be him. Oh, man. Do I have to pick one? I got 2 names I can write down. Oh, sack.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Hang on.
No, come on, man.
10 seconds, Joel.
Is it the really fat guy? He
No,
can't play baseball.
not Taft. He was, I think, late 1800s, I think. All right.
We had a lot of presidents.
Woodrow Wilson and Teddy Roosevelt. Joel, who was your other guy you're thinking of?
Calvin Coolidge.
That was both wrong. It was William Taft, the guy you just said.
What was the fat guy?
It was Taft?
Yeah, it was.
Who was the fat guy? I can't picture him throwing a baseball past 3 feet.
Here's
Here's your bonus question. Since 1910, only one president has not thrown out the first pitch. Do you know who that is?
Donald Trump. He hasn't thrown out a first pitch, has he?
Yep.
Barack Obama. Oh,
Obama did.
was it or FDR because he's in a wheelchair? No.
He rolled it.
I didn't think baseball diamonds were handicap accessible.
He rolled it.
He builds houses for charity.
JFK, because he died too soon.
Oh, I just gave you a clue. He builds houses for charity.
Oh, freaking the guy who's not dead yet.
That's almost right. Yeah.
Like he's the oldest living president.
Carter. I said Carter.
Yeah, Carter.
Carter, yeah.
Why didn't he? He could still do it. Get him out.
Give him a chance.
Right?
Yeah. Roll his bed out.
He's too busy building a house, apparently. I don't know.
Looks in good shape.
What's the score?
Jameis Winston question for us, since we talked about him earlier.
I think you're up 3-1.
Still 3-1.
It's 4-2.
4-2.
Oh, it's 4-2.
Yes. In 2013, Jameis Winston became then, at that time, the youngest player to ever win the Heisman Trophy. The oldest player to ever win it went to the same school as Jameis. Who was it, and how old was he?
The oldest player to win the Heisman?
Yeah.
He was 46. And his name was William Taft.
He also played at the same college as Jameis Winston.
You want to give?
Oh.
You want to give a year he was there?
Oh, no. Joel will know that. Don't give him that.
Yeah.
Go down with the ship, Joel.
I can give you his age
How old he is now or how old he was then?
when he won.
Okay.
He's 28.
Shoot, honky.
Wasn't that how old Brandon Whedon was?
Yeah, I think he was like 28. 28 or 27.
So it's got to be someone like around wartime, right? Because they would have left and come back.
Could be, could not be.
Too far back. That's dumb. I don't. RJ, stop picking dumb trivia that you wouldn't even know.
It's not that far back, and you will know the name as soon as I say it.
That surprises me. There's someone that was 28 years old that won the Heisman from Florida State.
I cut out for a second. Did you guys answer it yet?
No, I'm trying to think of Florida State people that were drafted and stuff because I know the NFL draft. If you told me the year they were drafted, I bet you I'd get it.
We need a countdown.
What, did you write something down already?
No, I'm just saying I don't want you to get it.
He's given up already. All right, 10 seconds.
Don Shula.
Oh, sure.
Every question I don't know is going to be Don Shula.
Screw your,
Yeah, right, eventually.
screw your countdowns. But
All right, go ahead.
Not
Guy-
Calvin Coolidge.
Yeah, who is that?
Irving Fryer.
Calvin Coolidge?
Irving Fryer.
Okay, no, and then nothing.
I had nothing. No.
Quarterback, Chris Winkie.
Yeah, oh my gosh. That's why it was no success in the NFL.
Yeah.
Whoever that is.
I don't want to put pressure on him.
2002, right? Was he 2002?
It's
Or was it
around there.
99? It could have been 99. 98, 97?
96?
It was
All right.
anywhere from like I think 96 to 2003, if that narrowed it down. But I think Jason White was 2003, and he was a.
Last two questions.
Ooh, Joel can only tie it.
Who caught, listen carefully now, who caught Brett Favre's first regular season completed pass when he was playing for the Falcons in 1991?
Dude, I don't know.
Come on.
Is it Deion Sanders?
All right, put a countdown.
You ready?
You can just go. I have no idea who it is.
All right.
I'm cool.
Not Calvin College, no.
Joel, give your webcam some space.
Brett Favre, that's correct. His first pass that was completed was batted. He caught it himself and lost 7 yards.
Does that count?
Yep.
It's a completion to himself, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His first pass was completed to the wrong team. That's why I said, listen carefully, that completion. He threw a pick six on his first pass. All right, question 10. In honor of the Last Dance ending, Michael Jordan question.
Oh, boy.
Crap, I bet Isaiah watched these. I've still not watched an episode.
Let's go. I've watched them all.
What 3 jersey numbers did Michael Jordan wear while on the Chicago Bulls?
I can get 2 right off the top of my head.
2 of them are easy.
Yeah, I know.
The third one is like,
Yeah, I know.
and it's the Chicago Bulls, not Olympics, because he had a different number for the
Right.
Olympics. I'm not
Yep.
being-
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I only know the 2.
Does Joel know the 2? Is the question.
I think I
Let's go.
did.
Can you tell me when in his career he wore the 3rd number that I can't think of?
If
Was
you
it-
both agree to it,
Was it his rookie year?
Joel, you want me to tell you when it was?
I think I know 2 of them for sure, and I feel like I've seen a picture of him in another one. What? Yeah, go for it. What year?
1990.
Oh,
Not the entire season. It's another
yeah.
clue.
And this is all with the Bulls, right?
With the Bulls.
I know I'm not right, but I'm just going to guess.
Yeah, you just got to guess the number.
Yeah.
'Cause he wore number 9 with the Olympics,
Right.
but that's not the answer. So if you wrote number 9, you're wrong.
So what 3? We have to get all 3, right?
All 3.
I think I got it.
All right, go ahead. Joel actually nailed it.
Oh!
On Valentine's Day, 1990, his jersey was stolen, and he wore number 12.
Oh, man. 28-3, Isaiah. Oh,
I think. Wait, didn't I still win?
it's
Tied.
4-4.
It's tied. Oh, we're going into overtime.
And that's where Kyle Shanahan lost it in overtime to the New England Patriots.
Oh, man.
Boy. Joel, hey, RJ, pick something hockey related or NBA related. Either
I'd
one.
have to Google in that hockey question. I don't know anything.
Do NBA then. I'll get
Ooh,
that.
NFL draft.
I might Google a question then for you.
Oh, my gosh. We're going to give hands-outs, especially when he's frozen up 4 times today. He almost froze up there, too.
I know. I keep having to disconnect my internet before it cuts me off the call and then reconnect.
Nice. That's a smart move, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Keeping in theme with Michael Jordan on The Last Dance.
Okay.
Michael Jordan averaged 41 points per game in an NBA Finals series. Which NBA team did they play against?
I would ask what year it was, but that would give it away.
Would it give it away? That would give it away for you because I still don't really think I know.
Do you want me
what
to
team?
say the year?
Yeah, tell me the year.
1993.
Maybe that didn't give it away. Shoot.
All right. I think I got it.
I have another huge clue, but it would totally give it away.
I think I know who it is, though, because I think I know the key player on the other team.
Give me a second. Give me like 30 seconds.
Wow.
Gosh, because it could be one of 2 teams.
I think I know 2 players from the opponent's roster. I think I got this one. I know 2 people on that roster for the opponent. I think that was either – okay, so the gamble was it was either 92 or 93 in my head.
Who was the opponent?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Ready?
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns, you both got it right. Look at that. There you go.
Charles Barkley and Danny Ainge. Gosh, I knew that one.
I know. I was gonna say the Seattle the Supersonics, but that was 95 or 96.
Do another one. Got to go to double OT.
Right? Jeez.
And now you gave him another one that he could get. Now you got to give me one I can get.
We both got it though.
No, but these are not my strengths at all. RJ knows that these aren't my strengths. He's running on yours.
Get one we both.
You haven't even done a baseball one yet. How about you ask a baseball one?
Baseball's boring.
That's not fair. All the other ones.
Ask a theology question.
That would be more even, but RJ has no interest in that at all.
All right. All right, let's see here. All right. Keeping with Michael Jordan. This is
Oh
a
my
multiple
gosh,
choice.
I'm going to just walk off.
Multiple choice.
That's a better chance for us to get it all right again. Gosh.
Which of these accomplishments did Jordan not achieve during the 1986-1987 season? A, 3,000 points. B, 200 steals. C, 100 block shots. Or D, 50% shooting.
What didn't he get?
He did not do one of them. What one did he not do?
All right, I'm ready.
Man.
I know it's between 2.
He almost got all 4.
I know.
Real close.
Man, I would know if he was a better three-point shooter.
Tell that to Portland.
I know he's not part of the 50-40-90 club, but that's just because he's bad at
Let it
three.
be known that you're picking only ones that I wouldn't know right now for the bonus questions. This is crazy that I'm getting these right.
It's an honor of the GOAT.
The GOAT is Tom Brady. Leave it alone.
In football, yes. Basketball.
Okay, well, I'll ask Tom Brady questions.
Fine. Next question will be Tom
We get
Brady.
to third
related.
overtime. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're not going to. You've watched all of these. I haven't even watched a single episode.
This was not announced in the last dance, by the
No,
way.
but I feel like at some level you would know his history and his stats.
Okay, let's go. Pull them up. You both said D, and you both got it right. Look at that. Joel's complaining and whining and crying.
50%.
Stop asking basketball questions. I don't want this guy trying to
Right?
poop on my win.
No, I'm going. Wait, what he said. Tom Brady question. I was going way too deep in my list here. I have to Google stuff.
You should just know everything about Tom Brady and rattle something off.
Who is Tom Brady's wife?
How about his?
All right, here we go. Question number 3 in overtime. Tom Brady. Tom Brady attended the University of Michigan between 1995 and 1999, earning the starting job the last 2 seasons. What was Brady's touchdown to interception ratio during his time at Michigan? You want me to just do closest person, or what do you want to do in this?
Hey, you gotta say the question again. I cut out.
I feel like this is a multiple choicer because what a ratio?
Yeah,
Like
how many touchdowns and how many interceptions in his career?
Like a 2 to 1?
Well, like the total amount. Like how many total touchdowns? Fine, that one's too hard. I'll go another one.
I think not all of it's hard. I think some of it's hard. I think that one you can just quick make a multiple choice out of. That one's just a multiple choice because it's way too in depth. No one's just gonna be like, yeah, you definitely have this amount.
50 and 26.
Okay, here you go.
Right?
Fine. Multiple choice question. Which of the following records did Tom Brady hold in the 2002 season? A, most consecutive games without throwing an interception. B, most touchdown passes by a rookie. C, only rookie quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Or D, most passes without interception to start a career.
Wait. So which one didn't he get or what?
Which one did he hold?
Can you say them again?
Yeah. A, most consecutive games without throwing an interception. B, most touchdown passes by a rookie. C, only rookie quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Or D, most passes without an interception to start his career.
Was that his rookie season?
I can't tell you that.
His rookie season. I'm going to give that away.
Oh, well, that was stupid because now it's a 50-50 shot. That takes away 2 of the answers.
So
All
it's
right.
either A or D.
Okay, but what is A and D? It was the most consecutive passes without an interception?
A was most consecutive passes without an interception. Most consecutive games without an interception. And then D was most passes without an interception to start his career.
But he was starting, okay.
All right. Hopefully me and Joel pick something different so one of us can win. Damn it, Joel.
Well, you were both wrong. It was D.
All right.
Wow, that's what I get for my Tom Brady question.
Right?
Ask a Wayne Gretzky question.
Oh, or do baseball finally.
Just end it for me.
It's the only one you haven't asked is a baseball question.
All right. Keeping with Tom Brady for you, Joel. Tom Brady has garnered a reputation for his ability to put together game-winning drives. Against which franchise did Brady have his first game-winning drive? Want me to give you multiple choice in this one?
Yes.
Yes.
A, Pittsburgh Steelers. B, Indianapolis Colts. C, San Diego Chargers. Or D, Buffalo Bills.
His first one?
Very first one.
I think I remember this from the Brady 6.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, put them up.
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you both are wrong. It's the Chargers.
What?
You guys are killing me.
Oh, he got I think it was his first career start that he got from against the Colts and Peyton Manning. But I thought his first comeback came back.
First start was against the Colts.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
There we go. This one's a complete random, and it's which of the following athletes went to the same school as Tom Brady? Only one of them went to the same school as him.
Is this high school?
High school, yes. Troy Gloss, Jason Kidd, Aeneas Williams, or Barry Bonds?
Ooh, those are some names.
All right, I'm ready.
Holy cow, dude.
Oh, you must know this one.
No.
That or you just like, screw it.
Nope. Educated guess.
Give me like 30 seconds. I gotta process those.
I think we would know if it was Barry Bonds.
I just one more time with the names.
Troy Gloss, Jason Kidd, Aeneas Williams, Barry Bonds.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do they have to go at the same time or
No.
All right.
The answer is Barry Bonds.
Yes.
All right.
Look at that. Epic comeback goal.
Yeah, that was exhausting. Isaiah's burned me out. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough energy for next week.
Right?
You always putting up these fights though.
Am I asking trivia next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So you can do theology. That'd be great.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't want to go over. That's not fair.
I could go like super obscure theology, and no one would get any points.
All right. That's cool. I probably know at least one obscure theology thing because I watch too many YouTube videos about theology.
I got an idea for you guys. You guys each come up with 5 theology questions. Send them to me, and then that will be your guys' next battle.
But then we both would know those.
Yeah, then we know 5.
Five.
You get 5, but you'd have to get the other 5 right. Or fine, each of you give me a list of 10, and then I'll pick between your list of 10. So that I have 20 choices to choose between those 10 questions.
But are they going to be 5 from each side, so it's split?
Yes.
I still feel like we would know half the answers and probably.
Yeah, but you'd have to know the other person's questions to be able to win.
RJ,
How about you pick 3 of them from each group out of the 10 that we send, so there's enough variety, and then it's super random, and then you pick 2 sports-related ones.
I don't know how complicated this is getting.
Yeah.
It is. How about we just do normal stuff? Isaiah, it's all you next week, man.
All right, all my questions are going to be Madden football related.
Who was on the cover of 98?
Who's on the cover of John Madden football?
John Madden.
Yeah.
To be fair, one of those years, Barry was on the cover with him in TV.
That was 2000, and then 98, but he was also had someone in the background if you look really closely, and I know who that is. Garrison Hurst.
Garrison Hurst?
Yep.
Well, I'll have to dig pretty deep then to find some good questions.
I love my Madden. But all right, guys, it has been another beautifully long show. We reached the amount we were on last week, but, we're hitting YouTube views, so I'll take it. Like and subscribe to 6Three Podcast on YouTube. Check us out on the 6three.com. Add us on Facebook, Joel Horseman, Isaiah Hager, RJ Shin. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the 6Three. All right, guys. We will see you next week, Tuesday. Peace out.
Out.